What up, boys? We finally got the matchmaking results, and I gotta say, I'm actually kind of happy about them because there's few things here and there that are making me excited for this season. Today, I'm gonna be covering NVR and MILK KvK. I'm gonna be showing some data, thanks to Call of Stats made by Phoenix, and we're gonna be seeing if it's balanced or not. Because I gotta say, this KvK, especially the NVR versus YSS, which obviously everyone knew that was gonna happen, was probably the hardest thing to balance because there's too much of a gap. Like YSS is sitting at 45 bill power, NVR at 34 bill power. That's just absolutely insane of a difference. So let's check first the map layout. So if we go here, by the way, devs finally added that you can switch positions. Well, I mean, you pretty much just switch your spot. So for example, let's say, I don't know, everyone has to agree. Let's say it's an example, okay? I know you cannot just put the two paragons in same place, okay? So let's say you wanted to switch 375 or 320, then you switch the spot on the map, and now you switch alliances. So it's really good in case like a wall cam decides that, well, no, the devs fucked up, this is not balanced, this guy here, this other guy here will be more balanced, everyone agrees, good W from the devs. So who is in NVR camp? So as you can see here, we have OMG, we have 756, and we have 375. As you can see, the two big kingdoms are kind of in the middle of between the enemies. So obviously, you lose this zone, you're kind of screwed because you're gonna be zone locked pretty much, which is not ideal, I gotta say. I don't know, see, that's the problem, you cannot, because I was saying, well, you could argue maybe, you could switch the spots between those two to guarantee final zone, but then the problem is that you switch alliances too, so that breaks completely the balance. So yeah, that's us, NVR, OMG, and this kingdom, which is, I gotta say, I actually voted to have this name in every single alliance I've been on, which is Tandem Bank, so W to these guys. Versus YSS, 320, EVG, oh boy, I'm gonna be enjoying this zone 2, and 341. Our zone 2 is gonna be versus 320, which is EVG. I had my cap account last season there. There's some of the Imperium crew there, Yukon, Vicious, Meows, Meower. I'm gonna be enjoying so much this zone 2, I'm gonna have so much fun. I just can't wait to see Vicious, cap main, well, I mean, say cap main though, but he has more merits with mages than cap, so I don't know how much of that is true. I'm just gonna be chasing him around the map, okay? The moment I see his caps, I'm just, click inf, send inf, go AFK, and just, eventually I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna, again, I'm kidding, half kidding, because I'm gonna be doing that sometimes. But yeah, I'm gonna be enjoying fighting against Imperium crew. It's gonna be fun. There's gonna be trash talk, friendly trash talk, hopefully it doesn't go too far. But yeah, I'm gonna be enjoying this, and I'm really excited for the season. Now let's check some data on this KvK. So here, Call of Stats, share out to Phoenix, we can see some of the data of the KvK. You have YSS at 43 bill power, we have NVR at 34 bill power, OMG at around 26 bill power, EVG at 15 bill power, Storm All Bastion, which is the shell they are on now, at 12 bill power, and NW at 11 bill power, we could say, okay? As you can see, the way devs decided to balance this KvK is by giving two, big kingdoms, we could say, NVR plus OMG to compensate kind of for YSS, and then they added two lowish, EVG at 15 bill power, I'd say is mid tier power, but yeah, NW obviously is low power at around 11 bill power. I think if you add the power of all the kingdoms here, I think NVR side ends up at 1 or 2 bill more power. The thing though is, I think it's no secret that it's gonna depend a lot on YSS on winning this KvK, mainly because, again, so I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I do think NVR versus YSS loses the 1v1, which is one of the parts that worries me because of the zone locking potential of this KvK. And obviously they will go for that, because if we get all to final zone, then you have OMG plus NVR, two powerhouses fighting against YSS, and let's be honest, neither EBG or NWB, I don't even think, for example, EBG plus NWB together could beat NVR, for example, or OMG. Because, like, sure, you could add the power. I mean, if you had the power, they had like 25 bill power, which is the same as OMG, and 10 bill less than NVR. That already says a lot. But apart from that, it's just the quality of the accounts, the amount of resources these types of players are willing to spend, the amount of money in the middle of the season these types of players are willing to spend is just way different, So again, if everyone gets to final zone, I think we have a good shot at winning. The problem is the zone locking. Zone locking is the thing that could cook us, because then if we get zone lock, obviously we don't give up on the season. We still try to push YSS and the other camps from behind. But for final zone, at least at the very start of it, it will be like a 2v3, which is less than ideal, especially when your big boy kingdom is zone lock. So yeah, these seasons stakes are high just because of that zone locking potential. But yeah, pretty much this is it. I don't know if I can, I don't know. I don't think like showing the merits, for example. Let me see. So for example, oh my god, there's a shit ton of, okay, so you're telling me, okay, that's insane, bro. I don't know, Phoenix just cooks so hard with this webpage. You can even see the infantry merits based on kingdom. Like, this is just insane. T4 to T5. So T4, T5 resource healed. As you can see, obviously YSS has more, but look at the steep decline in here. I don't know. I mean, okay, I assume this is taken from last season, and last season OMG took like a really chill season. So as you can see, like somehow EBG is still above, and SAV1 is still like pretty decently high there. These guys though are like super fucking low, so yeah. But yeah, I wanted to check the merits though. Current power, okay, power. Finally found it. So, merits of YSS, currently they're sitting at 5.7 bill. We're sitting at 5.3 bill, ONG at 2.5, EBG at almost 2 bill, and then 1.7 bill and 1.2 bill. I'm not gonna lie, this kingdom here, I don't know, I think this is cooked in a sense, because they have the lowest amount of lords, they have the lowest amount of people. Like, I'm telling you, why? Like, the problem EBG cannot like really carry the KvK. It's just gonna be MILK and YSS. YSS is gonna have to do a really huge effort. The other thing, YSS last season, I mean, they didn't like fully zero themselves, but they had to spend some resources because they were mostly like, apart from like zone 2, mostly they were pushing into us. So yeah, it's gonna be a really interesting season. The only thing is this kingdom has like probably the best accounts in all the game. Like, it's just insane the amount of Krakens that there are. So I do think they have the chance to carry the KvK. It's just like, I don't know, like, again, we have Rolik in the middle. There's so many variables for this KvK, it's just really hard. Now let's move into MILK's KvK. So for MILK, what do we have? MILK 17, which is ED, and 538, which I think is VOD, if I remember correctly. Fighting against 221, which is SW. I thought they disbanded, seems not. 847, this kingdom is going to be problematic because I checked their players. The problem with this kingdom is they have like 100 and 200 mil plus players, but then they have a shit ton of 40 and 25 mil players. Those players will not be able to play the KvK. Like, those players, if they're fighting 60, they're gonna hit some infantry, they will literally wipe their 5 marches without even making 10. So the problem with this kingdom is that they have a lot of power that's gonna be useless because of the type of KvK. At the same time, it's a new kingdom, so I get it, but I don't know, I don't think they should be on this KvK, mainly because of that reason. There's too much power here that's not gonna be able to be used on the field. Like, those players in 1 hour will be out of troops and out of resources, because they're gonna get the worst rates on their life. And then we have 203. If we check the data on this KvK, as you can see, 21 SW sitting at around 24 bill power, which, as you can see, is way higher than anything else. And then we have ED at 18 bill and MILK at 18 bill. As you can see, they have 164 lords. MILK, for example, has 92. Now the thing is, MILK players, like, they really have crazy accounts. So, you know, like, that's what I'm saying. Where is it? Rising Phoenix might have 198 players, but like the problem is just too off. Like they have like 30-40 maybe players at 30-40 mil power. Those players will hit a max deco LS Jordan with like a 3-star Brimstone. like for example the one from Kirito, they will wipe all their marches. It's just like I don't know, like I think those players are not ready for this type of KvK, and the matchmaking should take that into account. But apart from that, obviously 21 SW is kind of like a YSS, is meant to carry this KvK, way higher power than us. As you can see, higher lords, 164. Milk, I think Milk is gonna have the Bastion play, because even if with lower numbers, we do have the max pet, the max deckers accounts, the crazy accounts. So, and we have like accounts that can fill Bastions on their own for like, 2 hours or so. So the Bastion play I think is gonna be on our edge. The problem is gonna be the open field. Because open field we're gonna be heavily outnumbered, so that like makes things like way harder. Like when you're heavily outnumbered, it mainly comes down to attrition. Because you're trading maybe better, but like they overwhelm you in the field, so every time they're pushing you back. But eventually the enemy is like taking way worse trades to the point where they like cannot resource heal anymore. Apart from that, I think it's like a semi-balanced KvK. The only thing that worries me about a bit is this kingdom here, because again they're already kind of low on power at 12.7 bill. The problem is I'm pretty sure they're gonna have like 2 bill power. That's gonna be, and I don't want to offend anyone, but it's true, it's gonna be borderline useless, because again they're gonna zero themselves at like they have some 25 bill. Let me just show you. And I think this is one of the problems that many kingdoms do when they're building their roster, is mixing high power players with low power players is really bad for your KvKs, and it's just gonna cook you. Like you just gotta stick to having low power players, or you gotta remove those and just make like higher power players. Not this shell, or they are SX. I think they're here. Yeah, 11.8. So as you can see, it's 167 mil, 122. That's fine. But then they have a 35 mil, 52 mil, then some 100 mils. But then when you get to here, 34 mil, 131 mil, 38, 47, 54, 151. 26. Like bro, those cheap accounts will zero themselves just trying to kill some info. 28. So, like, I get it because it's a new kingdom, but at the same time, they're bringing these older accounts that are way higher power. Maybe some are like literally new use whales, and it's just breaking the matchmaking. Because now you have, the matchmaking needs to take into account these bigger accounts with mixed with like low power accounts, and it's like again, like 35, 44. You can see like there's no middle ground. Like. It's better to have everyone like at 80 to 100 mil than like having some massive players and then super like small ones. They're gonna have a crazy field, don't get me wrong. They're gonna come in with a shit ton of marches, but 3 minutes in they're gonna start like losing so many players. Like some of their players will not, they will just don't want to play, because they will look at the reports and they will get like 100k seconds like out of nowhere. Like you can bomb these guys and you're wiping them all like in 3 seconds. So yeah, I think the KvK is gonna be fun. I think I'm gonna really enjoy this KvK because there's gonna be lots of marches on the field. As you can see, 164, 198. Okay, so there's gonna be lots of marches on the field. There should be good activity. I do think we have a good chance of winning because again, like Milk players like used to KvK 1, stacked accounts, like high mana count. The only big thing is dealing with 21 SW. Because they are huge in power, good amount of players, but their allies, obviously, to balance the KvK, are slightly weaker. So yeah, next video is gonna be an artifact tier list, because I already did the hero one, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.